Hello, good evening. The region's farmers are tonight still facing an anxious wait to find out if a suspected case of foot and mouth disease has been confirmed in mid-Hampshire. If tests are positive, hundreds of animals at the farm near Alsford will have to be slaughtered. Tom Savidis reports.
The sign on the gate says it all. This farm at Ropley was targeted by the Ministry of Agriculture because it had links with the abattoir in Essex where foot and mouth disease was discovered. Sheep from here were transported there. Then the truck returned back to Hampshire. As soon as the link with Essex was discovered, government inspectors arrived. They found a young pig with an injured leg and feared it could be foot and mouth disease. As news of the possible outbreak spread, nearby landowners with livestock started taking precautions. At this nearby sheep farm, access was restricted. The village of Ropley was put on alert.
Do you think it could be generally devastating for a place like Ropley if that is?
Certainly for the farmers in Ropley, yes.
It's going to affect such a lot of people and their lives and everything in the whole community.
I'm concerned about all the new outbreaks, but what is essential is to prevent the movement of animals which can spread the disease and to contain the disease when that which is incubating in the national herd and the national flock emerges.
The countryside is in crisis, and I fear that for some farmers this is a final blow, this is a last straw. So it is vital that the whole country joins in doing everything we possibly can.
Footpaths were cordoned off, and vets usually kept busy, lost business overnight.
I would think that here, perhaps 30% of our income comes from mainly dairy cows, and if they go, they won't be able to restock for 6 months. And then there's the question of how much they will continue in the future. So yes, it could be devastating.
The farming industry in this part of rural Hampshire has undergone many changes over the years, but they've never experienced anything on this scale before.
A possible disaster on a Hampshire railway line was averted tonight by a quick-thinking motorist. An elderly driver turned onto the line at a level crossing at Petersfield. Another motorist spotted the danger and phoned police and Railtrack. He then rescued the woman from the car, which was later removed from the line. 2 teenagers appeared before a youth court today, charged with arson at a Hampshire school. Beechdown Primary in Basingstoke suffered damage put at £2 million last November. The case was adjourned until next month, and the teenagers were released on bail. Detectives investigating the murder of a schoolgirl from Berkshire have made a fresh appeal for information. Emily Salvini died after inflammable liquid was poured through the letterbox of her home in Caversham in 1997. She was 7 years old. A reconstruction showing the events leading up to her death was televised earlier this evening. More than 300 motorists are claiming they've been wrongly convicted of drink driving by Surrey police. At a special court hearing today, it was alleged that breath-testing equipment used at 4 main police stations, including Guildford and Woking, had been faulty. Charges said to have been wrongly brought date back to June last year. The district judge sitting at Staines Magistrates Court adjourned the hearing until May, when 4 of the 300 complaints will be heard as test cases. Police say a pensioner robbed in her home at Andover is the latest victim in a series of similar crimes to hit the Hampshire town. 2 men asking to check the water supply forced their way into her home on Old Winton Way. They took almost £300. Horse racing is reeling from a week-long suspension due to fears about spreading the foot and mouth virus. Enda Brady reports from Lambourne in Berkshire.
It should be one of the busiest times of the year for Mark Pittman, but today he's coming to terms with the implications of having no racing for at least a week. The overwhelming feeling among trainers is that the correct decision has been made, though workers in the racing industry will be hit hard.
It's going to be very painful for a lot of people. I mean, we will undoubtedly feel the effects of it because we can't be racing our horses, we can't be winning any prize money. But, you know, I'm sure it is the right decision that racing has been stopped, because at the end of the day, this disease must be stopped. It must be eradicated.
Lambourne is a village steeped in racing, and the suspension has been greeted here with a mixture of acceptance and disappointment.
But a little bit down, because a lot of people like going racing. A lot of trainers have got all their horses getting ready for Cheltenham, and they've got to be just let down a bit.
I think it's the right move. You've got to feel sorry for the farmers, and I mean, you've got to try and take every measures that you can.
Newbury Racecourse will lose more than £20,000 as a result of this weekend's meeting being cancelled. Though while racing counts the cost, trainers are also mindful of the devastating impact on their countryside neighbours.
The farmers are the ones that, if this disease is not nipped in the bud and done quickly, are really going to suffer. And I can't think of a worse sight than seeing one of the local farmers with a lot of smoke come up over the horizon, where he's got his entire flock going up in smoke.
The situation is being monitored closely by racing authorities, though the industry is fearing an even longer suspension next week.
Football, and Reading have signed midfielder James Harper from Arsenal for an undisclosed fee. Harper will be available for selection in Reading's important home match against promotion rivals Rotherham this Saturday. Another skipper has resigned from the BT Global Challenge. Hampshire's Alex Phillips has decided to quit the round-the-world race following an accident which happened in Wellington Harbour at the start of the last leg from New Zealand to Australia. A reserve skipper has now been flown out to join her boat. That's all from the newsroom for now. More from us in GMTV from 6:10 tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Meridian weather, sponsored by Sea France, Dover-Calais ferries.
Good evening. If you haven't seen any sleet and snow yet, you probably will overnight tonight, and you certainly will if you're driving around over the higher level roads through the Downs. Some snow already lying on the ground and more to come. The weather pattern's very unsettled, low pressure to the east. That's bringing in the cold winds from the north and northeast, and we will have more showery outbreaks of sleet and snow through tonight and tomorrow too. Gradually through the day tomorrow, as the low pressure edges away to the east, so the skies will get a little bit brighter, some sunny spells coming through in the afternoon. Still the threat of some wintry showers, certainly through the day, and always cold, even where the sun appears. Temperatures only around 3 or maybe 4 at best, with that very chilly north wind. So it's a wintry scene and hazardous conditions on the roads. Do mind how you go. Good night.
Meridian weather, sponsored by Sea France, Dover-Calais ferries.
You just won £64,000. The right answer, you just won £32,000. 15 questions that could just change your life.
Call this number now and you could be a millionaire. Thursday at 8.
Next on Meridian, slightly later than scheduled, another chance to see the Brit Awards.